the other end of things, a couple guys that had some horrible luck. And I mean, what's a guy got to do for Ty Fredrickson?
Well, kudos to Danny and Ty and all them guys on that team to whether it's the backup car or the primary to get whatever car started on Saturday ready to go.
To have two cars break in the same spot with the same thing, it's like, what? I mean, what's a guy got to do?
Yeah.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into the snowy 122nd edition of the Tuesday Track Talk podcast featuring your Three Stones pit crew. I am your gas man, Cam.
Jack Mankel.
I'm your tire changer, Cam.
And as I mentioned, we got a snow-filled episode here up in the great state of Wisconsin. Some of us got over 20 inches of snow, and some of us don't have any at all. But we're snowed in. We got a birthday to celebrate here on the podcast, a pit crew member. So, and then we're going to talk some racing. So, a lot going on for the pit crew right now. But before we dive into a loaded episode here of talking some asphalt racing, just want to check in. How we doing, boys?
Well, you got the birthday boy with us today, so that makes today a monumental occasion. Yep.
The old dirty 30.
Yep. As they say, it's all downhill from here.
Fuck, you're kidding.
But you want to drop your Venmo name or anything for all of our listeners? Send you a little birthday gift.
No. We'll take sponsorship opportunities though. That's a birthday gift.
Good pivot. Good plug and pivot. I can appreciate that.
Birthday today as we record here. I spent it clearing snow. Took the snow thrower out, the freshly bought snow thrower on her first go rounds. Obviously we had the race today. Went out for some fish on Friday night, but otherwise pretty quiet weekend. So I'm gonna pour myself a couple glasses of bourbon tonight and call her a day. So
that's when you get all the good ideas.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you guys are shoulder deep in snow, and I don't have a single thing 3 hours south of you. So it's a little bit warmer down here in the deep south. We don't get that snow stuff. So it's raining. It's not doing a thing. Concrete's dry. I just looking out the window. We have absolutely zero. So chilling.
Yeah, well, some of us are buried in snow, left us with nothing to do but watch some basketball, stay inside, and watch some racing. So before we hop in here and talk some racing, let's hop in here and talk some news. Kind of light on the news, but I'll take all this news here and just rattle them off for you. So Corey Heim, he continues his kind of outlaw year. And he joins Nelson Motorsports for 4 races in their number 12 late model, including Cars Tour and Virginia Triple Crown. So Corey Heim, not full-time this year in anything, but continues to fill a schedule with some seat time. CR7 Motorsports announces Landon Hoffman will join them for 4 ARCA races starting at Hickory. So Landon Hoffman, well-known late model guy, gets some seat time in the ARCA series. Tanner English, going to the dirt side of things here. He's back in a super racing in a rocket chassis that he owns. And he's going to kind of do the true outlaw schedule, pick and choose. He was in the 96. He was in the 96 Coleman Farms machine there that they parted. So, he's going to make a rocket chassis swap too. He was originally in a Longhorn, so English making a change there. In the dirt side of things as well, Randall Edwards and JRR have parted ways. So, NASCAR side of things, we'll talk about this a little bit later here, after we talk some NASCAR things. The good thing with dirt racing, it feels like they don't mess around. They cut to the chase. It's never too early to make a change. So we are in mid March, and we already got crew chief and team parting ways, going different directions. So never too soon to make a change, I guess. So going to the asphalt side of things, 5 finalists announced for the Kawicki development program there. We had Michael Bumgarner, Carson Haslip, Riley Music, Chase Johnson, and got to get a Wisconsin boy in there. We got Penn Sauter. So 5 guys there, all going for that development program there. And Penn Sauter, hopefully, as long as you don't listen to his radio, he's going to represent us well track. So that'll be fun to follow that. Formula One announces the cancellation of the Bahrain and Saudi Arabia Grand Prix for next month. Just say we got a little world conflict going on that is causing that cancellation. So unfortunate for them to have 2 events canceled. But
yeah, we'll just leave that right there.
Yeah, we'll leave that right there. And then in tragic news here, hate talking about this. Last night on March 14th, World Outlaws sprint car show at Kennedale. Tragically, we had a World Outlaws official pass away. You guys can hop in if you know the details, but from the sounds of it, we had a car roll over, and we had 2 World Outlaws officials collide in their side-by-sides, and unfortunately one of them has passed away. So
Yeah, I mean that's the gist of it there. It was out of camera view, obviously, and you just kind of saw the stream go dark, and you knew, not dark, but it went to commercial, and you kind of knew that something wasn't good. And when they postponed the event, yeah, then they came out with the official announcement afterwards. So yeah, one fatally injured and then one seriously injured out of that deal. And obviously the whole motorsports world is thinking of everybody, both the families, the series, everybody involved in that whole deal.
Yeah, this is kind of one of those cases that like the racing world comes together in bigger ways, and you talk about your competing series, dirt, asphalt, it doesn't matter. It's again, and we've mentioned it time and time again with scenarios like this. The racing world is just such a tight knit group, top to bottom, that they'll take care of each other no matter what happens. So even in the darkest of moments, this crew, if you want to call it that, will take care of each other. That they'll be on the mend as soon as they can be, especially in a moment like this. So, yeah,
that's, that is, I don't want to say a curse, but that is, after that happened, like, you sit there and think about it. One, how good they are at their jobs and how quickly they are to get to drivers and make sure drivers are okay. But then, like, I think about it, you go to Cedar Lake and you go to like World Outlaws, like those WU officials, like a car rolls and it is like
mad
dash to the car. And great that they are able to get there so quickly. But like you said, last night, obviously makes you pause and reflect. And it's like, those guys are full speed trying to get there to help. And to have this happen is obviously a tragic deal, and hopefully we can find a way to not let this happen again. So awful deal. That's something we never want to talk about in the racing world. So thoughts and prayers to that person's family, and yeah, like you said, the racing community will carry on together. So that looks like all we got for news. So if we're done with news, that means we can get to the fun part of the podcast. We can start talking racing. So we had two kind of races that we were really dialed into this weekend. First, we had the ASA Stars race, and then we had the Cup race at Vegas. So first, we're going to talk some Stars race, and I'm going to kick it to you guys and just see your guys' gut reaction to the Stars race and where you guys want to start.
Yeah, decent car count. 20,
26 took time.
26 took time, 27 on property. So decent car count. You had some heavy hitters. You had your ASA Stars, Platinum guys. In reality, I mean, once the race really got going, it was fairly clean until right into the end.
It was actually kind of there, especially in the recent races when it comes to late model racing as a whole. This was kind of a breath of fresh air to have a fairly clean race. Obviously, that is until the latter part of the last 15 or 20 laps or so, but that race ran fairly clean. But when they do that, you get to see who is really good. And Carson Brown is looking really good to be a championship contender this year.
He he's going to be tough to beat. And when you look at it, right, we've talked about this too. With them making that chassis change, you're thinking, oh, there's going to be a little bit of growing pains with that. No, I almost wonder if he's found the next level with this new chassis deal that he's looked right. That last restart, there was what, five to go?
Yeah.
Five to go, four to go, and he drove out to a 1.5 second lead to finish the race.
No. And that's a chassis that got fast time in the Snowball Derby last year.
Like they're just cleaning house.
Yeah.
At anything can't be group. So, they're probably fairly blessed to have that schedule change now that he can go both run the Cars Tour race and that next race in April. So he's probably loving that because he's 2 for 2 right now. Looking at this, going, how many can I win half the schedule?
Yeah.
So, very, very positive for him on the other end of things. A couple guys that had some horrible luck. And I mean, what's a guy got to do for Ty Fredrickson?
Well, I mean, kudos to Danny and Ty and all them guys on that team to whether it's the backup car or the primary to get whatever car started on Saturday ready to go.
To have two cars break in the same spot with the same thing, it's like, what's a guy got to do?
Yeah.
So, I mean, to haul all the way down there, wreck one in practice, again, nothing he's doing, just the parts failure, and then have the same thing happen, 5 laps in?
15 laps in was the official count.
So, yeah, I mean, all you can do is just throw your arms up and go, what do you do?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then once it kind of got through the middle of the race, it just was a lot of long runs. It's kind of seemed early in the season that these Wilson cars, they like to race each other hard and they're always together
They are aggressive. Very aggressive.
with each other as well.
Yeah.
So you just quite never really know when those guys get racing around each other.
But there's two of them in that camp that have really started to shoulder strength here. Um, Kyle Steckley
Yeah.
finishing second in that race, and then one I think that's catching a few people by surprise, but it shouldn't be at the same time. Jade Afrodisian.
She was good coming out of the dirt open wheel stuff. So it was just going to be a matter of the adjustment period for her to the asphalt side of things in a full body car. So, good race car driver in her own right. So it was just going to be a matter of her getting adjusted to it. And with that Wilson camp, there's going to be a heavy schedule. So, we talk about the World Series and now the National Tour deal. She's going to get a good heavy dose of it here on the asphalt side of things. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, it ran fairly clean. And then we had who was it that ended up breaking? Casey Klein. He ended up breaking with 50 to go. That was a weird one. He was coming out of four and he just shot basically was almost on throttle, right? As he went on throttle, that thing just shot straight and
Yeah, he pancaked the right side of that thing pretty hard.
yeah. Um Bunched the field up a little bit. And then yeah, you kind of got stuff happen throughout the rest of that. There was a couple of restarts that were an issue, especially in those last 10 laps. That initial restart with 10 to go, Derek Thorne, Bubba Pollard. I think Dylan Fetchel caught a little bit of it, but them guys piled up there in turn four, which what do them two got to do? Bubba just Five Flags is just cursing them after being so good there in the Southern Super Series. Anything outside of that, given that this was a Southern Super Series race as well, but anything outside of that, boy, Bubba just can't get
Yeah.
any luck at all.
No, and you got to remember the first national tour race, he made it one lap
And say this is the part of racing that makes you want to just shut her down.
for real.
As much as I mean, when we talk about it too on here, when sometimes when it rains, momentum is real, and when you got it, it's a great thing. But on the other side of that spectrum, when it rains, it pours, and Bubba is standing in a thunderstorm right now. It feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that collection off of four with Thorne and that whole deal. Kraus was kind of a part of that. He got it rolled up enough, and then that next restart was him and Matt Craig got together, and it was kind of did Kraus come up? Did Craig come down? It was they kind of were fighting for the same real estate. At I don't know.
It
You
was a
kind of got to
racing
look.
deal.
Yeah, and it was like you saw it because it was right on the edge of the camera view, and you saw Craig slow, and then the camera panned to them, and you're like, oh, well, there's something going on there. But they ended up both spun down by the inside wall there, finishing 15th and 17th, the two of them.
Yeah.
Um, so they kind of got tangled up, which both of those cars were inside the top 10 before that happened.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, it was 5 laps, and it was going to be you were going to have to jump.
Huh.
Let's have the conversation. You're gonna have to be on it on that restart to be able to get Brown because he's just that good. So, you know,
Well,
we talked about that stack up off of four, and let's go back to December, and we're gonna revisit that conversation of this is why that restart was done the way it was done in December.
yep. Yep.
You want to wreck half
Exactly.
the field, we can follow the rules, that's fine, but
Sure.
then the conversation becomes, will he check the field up and wrecked half the field? Well, what do you want?
Yep. Who's at fault? Like,
Yeah, you're stuck between a rock and a hard place no matter what you do. So do with that what you want. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, that 81 is gonna be an absolute rocket ship everywhere they go. So it's kind of crazy because Campy's got a good program, but Donnie Wilson usually has been one that's put together at least a team or two that's been able to knock one off here and there. But
yeah.
Campy has shown that good luck trying to catch them the rest of the way.
Yep. I remembered what one of the other cautions was. Stephen Nasse, just another workman's day like he always does. Starts in the back, mid pack, kind of slowly makes his way up. He got to what, seventh, sixth at one point in time, and then he cut a tire down.
Yep. Yep. That was the end of that for him as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, all in all, decent race. It just got, it was the old cautions, big cautions at the end there, and guys got a little aggressive. And in reality, this really was only one car that we like really, really smashed up, and that would have been, well, Fredrickson and Klein.
Yeah.
But other than that, a lot of the other stuff that went on was mainly cosmetic.
Yeah.
So,
Radiator gets poked or something like that.
yeah, little things that it's just going to happen. But good to see that for the most part they put together a race that we didn't smash half the field up.
Yeah. I mean, we had 22 of the 26 running with 15 to go.
Yep.
So
Yeah, for sure.
I got the top 10 here if you let me run through that real quick. So Carson Brown wins that race. He led, let's see here. There's about 130, and then
About
there's about another
130.
six, so about 140, call it.
Yep.
Um, yes, Carson Brown wins that one. Kyle Steckley gave him a run for his money, but he finishes second. Cole Butcher third in his first start of the season in the super late. Jake Garcia finishes fourth. Jade Avedisian fifth. Casey Roderick from 21st to sixth. Tristan McKee seventh. Chase Pisano is eighth. Stephen Asty recovers to finish ninth, and Spencer Davis rounds out top 10.
Yep. Yeah, that crew is off. They got a little time off here before their next one. I believe the next one comes in April.
Yeah, April 26th at Dominion.
Yeah. And that is where they start to split with their conflict with the Midwest Tour.
Yep.
So, yeah, that was Stars of Five Flags. So,
Cool.
good.
Then let's keep rocking and rolling here. Um, we're gonna talk a little cup race at Las Vegas. I know in the group chat we had a little bit of grumbling about the race and being a little bit of a snoozer, but um, we'll talk a little bit of the race here, and um, then we're going to talk just a few things here. One, there's announcement made, and two, just we've talked about it here and there. Not, I guess we'll just call it Ace and Ace calling for people's jobs. Um, there's an announcement made, and then just we're starting to piece together a little bit of the way seasons are going that what we can expect here come the end of the year. So um, let's just talk here, Las Vegas, and um, I don't know where you guys want to start. Um, I
I
think one of the things we can start with is Toyota is rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
Hendrick showed its strength again today. Obviously,
Yeah.
probably didn't get exactly the result that they wanted, but they showed their strength and still shows that they're the top Chevy team and they're going to be competing for a ton of wins this year.
Yeah, they had three of their four in the top 10. So, I mean, in reality, you don't really know what the expectations were for the 48 team. I mean, is it just make all the laps? Is it, we don't know what that looks like. But, um, yeah, Larson led the most laps. He had a chance. He had a chance there, but just couldn't hang on. I mean, really, it was going to come down to the Toyota boys. Really, like Elliott, kind of just a workmanlike day came through there. Um, but I don't know. I don't need last week's tire, but I need last week's package. The
So,
only the only way you were going to make significant time was pit stops, and you had to be the first one to come to get tires, and then from there it was if you settled out, you could maybe pick one or two or three off, but it wasn't like last week where we had guys just busting through the field going, "Yep, you're good," because there were a few guys that had issues. Blaney was one of them with the whole yellow flag and then the pit stop, right? Like he got trapped deep in the field when really that was a top 10 car.
mhm.
Like I
And
get
then you
it to a
had,
certain degree, but it just there was no your bed was kind of made with where you were at.
and another example would be Briscoe having to crawl out of a lap down for 170 laps of that race from a
Yeah.
speeding penalty.
It's another guy that just can't catch a break right now.
Finished
This
one for once.
Yeah, this one's self-induced. We gotta kind of, to a certain degree, this one's shot themselves in the foot a little bit, but
They were slowly chipping away though. He's up to 26th in the point standings. I think was it last week or 2 weeks ago when we talked about if you're him, are you hitting is it time to hit the panic button?
Yeah.
And again, I think the answer is no. Dude was battling the entire day, and he had a rocket ship, and finally towards the end there got a chance to put it on display, and drove
Only
that thing
gained
right up.
one unless these haven't updated yet. He's only gained one position though.
No, they
Correct.
haven't. The results are still live yet.
Yeah.
So we're kind of waiting to see what that shakes out here. It should refresh here fairly
Oh
shortly.
yeah, this is after Phoenix, so yeah, we're waiting a little bit yet.
Still waiting on tech. Should be coming here shortly, but um yeah, I don't know. You had your usuals, somebody that didn't, I thought, put together a pretty solid day, and all three of their cars were in the top 11, was the old RFK boys.
Yep.
Busher put together a pretty solid day. He talked to me after the race, and it was a little bit of, what'd you make of the day? Well, we were just behind a little bit on qualifying. We made the car better, but we're still just a tick behind yet. So,
And I think that's the thing with Toyota. Why I think you're seeing the results is they show up on Friday and they're bad fast, and they're winning right from the get go. And it's not to say that RFK can't, but they're just not doing that. And I mean,
yeah,
heck of a run for Brad K finally to get a top 10. But correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he started like deep in the 20s. Yeah.
28.
So you're making it itself really tough on yourself to get good finishes when you're starting 28th. You gotta drive through the field, you say what you want, you're back there with the squirrels, and you know what happens when you're racing with squirrels. So like you said, I think RFK obviously fantastic showing for them to have all three cars in the top 11. Heck of a run. But I think for them is the next step is going to be, hey, we got to be starting the third car, top three cars got to be starting 20th at worst. We can't be starting deep 28.
Yeah, you're always one move behind, because not only are you trying to make your car fast right now, as soon as the track changes, you're still a move behind because you're still trying to find speed. So, you can't be making your second move when everyone else is making their first, because they're updating in real time when you're waiting for stuff to go yet.
And you can't be the instigator like you saw a couple of guys that were short pitting or shortcutting the pit strategy. You can't be that guy to do that with how deep in the field that you are. That's a move that you're pulling when you're in the top 5, top 7.
Correct. Yeah, correct. I know. We kind of talked about it a little bit. The Toyota's got this on lock. I am going to tell you, Chevy is going to figure this body out. They're not going to go the whole season and this be. They showed definite flashes of it in primarily the Hendrick camp, but they're going to figure it out.
Not to totally change the subject, did you guys catch that subtle Mike Joy comment in the middle of the race where he said Chevy had their like national racing meeting and they showed them what they're going to be racing in the future?
Yeah, I think I saw a Reddit post on that.
And I know I'm not sure what that's alluding to, if that's alluding to electric or I don't know, but it sounds like the Chevy, huh?
It's the conversation around the Camaro. It's not going to be a Camaro anymore because Chevy isn't producing a Camaro for a commercial vehicle.
Correct.
Got it.
So it's going to, whether, is it going to be the Corvette Z8 or the whatever it is, that's what they're going to change, is it's not going to be a Camaro anymore. So that's what they're alluding to.
Got it.
So that's good. They're going to change the sticker on the car is what they're going to do.
Okay. Another person he's been in the news a lot lately for the wrong reasons, catching strays in a lawsuit, but the 54 machine then has a run last week and then puts himself in the headlines with a post-race interview and cuts himself a little promo but damn, Buddy's backing it up here.
Started third, finished fifth.
That I mean,
And
this
also had
two
to come
weeks,
back from a
three
speed
weeks
penalty.
ago, 3 weeks ago, I guess I'll eat crow. I was on this podcast saying he shouldn't be in the Cup Series. About 4 weeks ago.
Yep.
So I'll stand. I'll be the first one to get out there and eat some crow. He keeps this up. Boy, have yourself a seat next year too. So,
Say that's 3 top fives in a row now.
The thing is you know what's going to get in the way of him?
His teammate.
Well, no, primary himself. He's going to be his own worst nightmare, I think.
Hence the speeding
I mean,
penalty today.
I was sitting there and we were getting ready to put our fantasy lineups together. And I said to my wife, I was sitting there and I said, I know he's fast, but I can't trust him. I can't trust him. And I literally told her, I said, I'm thinking about the 54. And I said, I can't do it because I just can't trust him. I got to see this happen another 2 or 3 weeks yet. And then I can start like feeling like this is real, but I just can't trust him right now.
That's fine. He could fill in for your Hamlin and Bell when you run out of starts with them. He could be your fill guy.
I have to.
And I mean, yeah, eating some crow. I guess when I think about putting him in my lineup, I just can't get out of my mind if it was last year. I don't know where we were racing, but on the radio it was just bumpy as hell, and he was just sitting in the car going as he's just bumping through the track, and I'm just like, anytime I scroll through Ty Gibbs, that's what goes through my mind when I'm considering putting him in my lineup. But I mean, like you said, he's been in the news a lot lately for off the track stuff, but then last week puts himself in the news for his on the track performance, cuts that promo after the race, and then not only that, but backs it up. And like you said, hopefully he continues this run. It's been a long time coming for him. He's gotten a fair amount of scrutiny. I mean, from me and from a lot of people, just for, does he deserve to be in that car and all that stuff and everything.
I don't know, as we kind of talk about this too, two guys that apparently got together, and I don't know, we couldn't see it because they must have been racing they finished 17th and 18th.
Well, the old teammates.
The old teammates that apparently weren't seeing eye to eye on how that went, Suarez and Chastain. Can anyone explain to me why that lady had to step in between those two?
So I saw somebody posted like the roof camera.
Yeah.
Afterwards, Chastain went and grabbed Suarez, and that's when she jumped in.
Okay.
Let him at it.
I'm going to say this nicely. She was going to get her ass beat if she stood in the middle of two guys that were pissed off.
You let him at it hockey style. You let him at it until somebody hits the ground.
She stepped in, so she was obviously with Suarez because she had blue and green stuff on. She had some freeway stuff on, so she was with Suarez. But then that official stuck his nose right in the middle too. What? Why? What are we doing? The guys know what the consequences is, and if they want to have it out, let them have it out.
Yep.
And then they have to write the check. It's not like let the collar down a little bit, and let's let these guys they were mouthing at each other walking away, and they're walking away, but then there's still an official stand between them. Just get out of the way. Let the drivers do their thing.
And there were absolutely no crew guys around at all.
No, the one guy was standing there, but he wasn't involved.
Yeah.
He was just standing there watching, which fair enough. If that's what he wants to do, then that's on him. But let those two have it. And of course you knew something was up because as soon as they kind of saw that at the end of the race, Fox cut away from it right away. I literally looked at my wife and I said, why did we cut away from that?
Yeah.
We want to see the fireworks. That's what we want to see. I guess, I don't know. NASCAR must really be scarred from the Stenhouse Rowdy deal.
They got it's, NASCAR insurance maybe, right? They got liability stuff and who knows.
I mean.
But it probably stems from the Stenhouse deal. These
guys sign up every week, strap into a race car, and they full and willingly know what the consequences could be. If they want to throw a few haymakers, that's fine.
we show the fights in football games and basketball games and baseball games, but as soon as guys touch hands in a race,
Yeah, no, stop. And then they cut away from it. I knew it right away. I'm like, that was stupid.
so um I if I'm gonna give a spotlight here, and whether it's a good spotlight or a bad spotlight, I guess is up for interpretation. Christopher Bell, solid run. He's always been good at Vegas, but that guy wants to win here so bad. He
He, yep, he does. And he made a very interesting comment post race. We came here wanting to do one thing, and that was win the race. We didn't do it, but with the new format, we're good.
But guy still wants to win.
Yep.
And it's just
Finished third, and it looked like he had his heart ripped out.
fourth. But yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, how about, we talked about him last week. Kyle Busch had another absolute stellar week. His teammate showed that he has a pulse and finished 12th in Austin
yeah.
Dillon.
The
Kyle Busch,
pseudo teammates of they're not, supported by them, but they're kind of supported by them. Especially when one of them is giving tours of the race shop to Cletus. Like,
yeah.
come on. Ty Dillon, 33rd. And then AJ Allmendinger, who's always been sneakily good at Vegas, 24th today.
Well, that's what I said. It's hard to run anywhere when you have no sim time. They have no simulation stuff right now.
Yeah.
So they're looking at their notebook from last year or the fall race and going, oh boy, is this what we're showing up with? I guess so.
Yep.
You want to talk about being a move behind.
Talk
Move,
about unloading a move behind.
oh, buddy, so far behind. So, yeah. See, that's another ride I think is going to change next year.
I mean,
How can it not? Do we want to have that conversation a little bit, or you want to run
I
through the
mean,
finish of this race and then we want to talk about that? I feel like it's
say I can run through the finish real quick since I got it up.
yeah. Go ahead.
Hamlin wins that one, led 134 of the 267 laps. Chase Elliott finishes second. I call him overrated. He's probably going to prove me wrong here before I know it, right? We call for people's jobs and where we call them out, and sure enough, they turn it around. William Byron finishes third, Christopher Bell fourth, Ty Gibbs fifth, again coming back from that speeding penalty. Chris Buescher sixth, Kyle Larson seventh, Chase Briscoe eighth, Bubba Wallace ninth, and Brad Keselowski rounds out top 10.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if we want to pivot to the second portion of this conversation,
Might as well.
but we're going to talk about some open cup rides that are either for sure going to be open or likely to be open. And so we can start with the 8. And I mean, obviously, Kyle Busch has had, I don't know how you want to describe it.
A year.
And we're how many races in? 6?
5.
5. You just listen to his radio, and this is why I alluded to it earlier. The good part about the dirt world is if something ain't working, they make a change. And I don't know contractually what Kyle Busch has got going on, but that is somebody who, if you listen to his radio, you can tell it's not working for either side, driver and team. The amount of frustration.
I listened to him
guys,
today. And I'm going to be brutally honest with you. He had the SVG Bristol situation going on today. He was asking if they had the tires tight or the wheels tight. He was asking, do I have something going on? At one point, he said, I don't know. Don't you guys have cameras? I guess I'm just talking to myself. At one point the skirt was dragging. He goes, the skirt's dragging, and he goes, this thing is so tight I can't drive it. Like, he's trying to diagnose this car, and he was so far out of the ballpark with that thing. Like, it was like the SVG Bristol thing. He was lost. I got a tire going down. Get ready. Nope. It's 2 laps later. It's just the skirt dragging. Well, I guess that's why we're tight. And it's like,
Yeah, that whole sequence was wild. Him on the radio saying he feels like he's got a right front going down. The right side of the car seems lower. Then he's saying he's losing the back end. And then they said, I think it was a spotter that came on and said, yeah, I think you might have a tire going down. And then he said, don't you have pictures? I'm just talking out of my rear end, I guess.
Yeah.
So clearly that is not. He's obviously in a contract year. And for him, it's like you want to run well to either get yourself another contract or figure it out. But that have to say it's if he gets another contract, it's not going to be with RCR.
that leads me to another change, and I'm going to predict that. I've said it a couple weeks ago. The most logical move for him is to go to Spire. He's got an affiliation with their truck program. He runs a bunch of their truck stuff. That's where he sold his stuff when KBM quit truck racing. You might as well go over there. You work hand in hand with them anyways on the truck stuff. You might as well just go drive their Cup stuff.
I don't know if you'd ever want to go down this route, but who's to say that's a way to get into the competition side like Jeff Gordon, Jack Canals had. Get into the behind the scenes stuff at the race shop.
Correct.
Be able to get your foot in that way. Especially now that they got Chris Gabehart.
Chris Gabehart, do him and Dickerson make some kind of deal as a part owner type situation? It's become more and more common in the sport nowadays. Like, I don't know. I'm going to predict, I don't know which, obviously, Cole Hocevar ain't going anywhere. I mean, Suarez is in his first year, and then you have McDowell. I just find it hard to believe that RCR doesn't go, I'm going to put Jesse Love, and we talked about it last week, or Austin Hill in that car and go, man, can it get worse? Yes. Is it going to? I don't really think so.
And depending even what Colleague does with their camp in the Cup Series.
Well, that's a whole other conversation with the Dodge deal because it's the worst kept secret in the Cup Series. They're going to be a Dodge team next year. Nothing's been announced. That was the plan. Dodge wanted to be in by the Daytona 2027. Like, okay, well, who's going to take a leap to go over there when Dodge is on their own now and you don't have help from RCR anymore because now you're quite literally on your own like they are now. So I think you mentioned that camp. Ty Dillon has got to be gone.
Yeah. No. Does he end up taking Bush's ride?
They
Does he
have
go
Alien.
racing with granddad and with the brother?
Okay. And then their colleague has their answer in-house in Justin Haley.
Correct.
So that solves that situation. But I just find it hard. I mean, I guess you have to remember, Chris Rice has made some very offhand comments in the last couple of weeks that, like, maybe he's just good with this. The Brickyard's not a crown jewel anymore. He'd rather win the truck race than the Daytona 500. Okay, then maybe you should just quit Cup racing.
Yep.
Go truck racing then, or go back to the O'Reillys. Go truck and O'Reilly's racing. If you don't care about the biggest event in our sport, then let somebody else that wants to value those charters do something with them.
Correct. And if you want to talk about, I mean, right, the sport's an investment. And not to be rude to colleague, but their investment, whatever it is in the sport, like I'd invest in something that's going to do well. It's going to give you a shot to win, that you're going to get a little bit of return. But colleagues Cup program is just that. I mean, you're pouring money into something that I feel like you're not even close. And the closest we can get to is a road course and hoping AJ Allmendinger can pull one out. And before SVG, it was like he was the favorite. But now since SVG's here, it's like Dinger's maybe 4, 5 when you show up to a road course. And so, yeah, like you said, I don't know. If I'm going to pour my resources and a lot of money into something, I want it to be something that I can win in. And I'm just going to be honest. I would, I guess I'd go all in on this Truck Series team because you're a heck of a lot closer to winning races in the Truck Series than he is in the Cup Series. I mean, Cup Series, to be honest, they're not even close.
Yeah.
So
33rd today. Take that, what you feel like.
Yeah. Another one that I think we're going to be talking about, um, driver change here, which will probably be, if it does happen, the most coveted ride in the of the off season is that 48 team. And Alex Bowman obviously don't want him to lose his ride the way it is or the way he is doing it, but just been on the struggle. And obviously with this vertigo, he's been out, he'll be out, no timetable for when he's going to return, which is going to basically, unless he hops back in that seat and goes on a run, his playoff chances are dwindling by the week. And
Yeah.
if you're in a Hendrick car, the expectation is you're in the playoffs and you're running for a championship. So another contract year for him, and I would say all indicators are that there'll be somebody else behind the 48, behind the wheel of the 48 next year. Who? Not sure, but I'd say it's probably going to be the most coveted ride if it does happen.
Been a lot of rumors swirling around two individuals. And you guys probably aren't going to like either of these answers.
Well, it's not Hocevar anymore.
No. Who are his two sponsored drivers?
Corey Day and Raja Kruth.
Correct. Now, are either of them ready?
No.
Absolutely not. Neither. They are the furthest thing from it. But if you want to talk about having the inside track to doing that, when my entire O'Reilly's season is sponsored by HendrickCars.com and he put together the team for me, kind of seems like the inside track. But I would find that hard to believe. I don't.
And my only solution to that was, again, tying another one back to this, and going way back, is Kyle Busch. Obviously, his time left in the sport is dwindling. He's got a young kid that's working his way through the ranks. Agree that Corey Day and Raja are their new prodigies. My thought would be, let's bring Kyle Busch to Hendrick in the 48. Let's give him a 2-year deal and let him rip it and get those two ready to go. And 2 years from now,
I just. Yeah, from a changeability standpoint, I agree. I just don't know that Hendrick wants to deal with the personality that is Kyle Busch.
true.
Look at all the characters that Hendrick has already. They're these quiet, soft-spoken guys for the most part that really ain't gonna rough anyone up. Like William Byron today, he didn't. He ran in the top, finished in the top three, but like you didn't even really know he was there because he's just quiet about what he does. All these guys are so quiet. Does Hendrick want to deal with a guy that's going to go out and bash a bunch of people? Like, does he want to deal with his drivers chewing crews and crew chiefs' asses in and out every week? I don't know that he wants to deal with that.
Is that part of the reason why he left the first time?
Like, it just makes me wonder a little bit. Like, I just don't know if that puzzle piece, that might be a square peg in a round hole, to be honest. But I totally get what you're saying from a 2-year deal. Let him go try to win some races in a quality equipment before he hangs her up. Absolutely would, and I think it would be good for the sport to see him win a little bit yet before he's done.
If you're looking at the O'Reilly's side of things, now given it seems like everybody and their mother drives a Chevy, so you can't say, you're trying to figure out a Chevy pipeline guy, right? If you're going to stick within the true Chevy camp in air quotations. I think a couple guys that could be potentials. We talked about him earlier, Jesse Love and Austin Hill. Maybe with whatever one goes to RCR, the other goes to Hendrick.
Yep.
Um, Carson Quaffle, he's ran a couple years. Sammy Smith, he's got a couple years under him. Who's to say Sam Mayer does that now? Given he's probably a Haas factory team, and it is, but Haas factory team only has the one car,
Correct.
so and that's just guys that are Chevy guys.
That O'Reilly series is a wild, wild place to be right now.
Should be the NASCAR Chevy O'Reilly series
Whoa, for real? They have what? Two Ford
presented by
cars?
Chevy.
Yeah, sponsored by, brought to you by Chevy Motors.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, there's so many Chevy guys that like. Now, there's a few obvious moves. Now, does somebody? I think the obvious one is going to be Corey Heim is going to take over that 35, or they're going to transfer that 35's points to the 67 or whatever for Heim to run for
It's going to
23.
stay within that 2311 camp.
Yes, it's going to be Corey Heim at 2311 next year. That one signed, sealed, and delivered. He would leave 2311 if they said, yeah, we're not going to put you in a cup car next year. So Herbst is a decent O'Reilly's guy. Where it is,
Well,
we talked about this, but then Jimmy Johnson, I'm going to get to your next point, goes out on the radio and says, we absolutely will for certain have a third car on the grid next year.
and who's to say that you get a guy, I'm going to check something here, who's got sponsorship with Monster Energy that just will follow it with him. I'm trying to look something up here because I thought I remember something and I want to make sure I'm right on this before I say anything.
Well, the monster deal has been kind of swirling around a little bit about that too lately.
Correct. Oh, I was wrong then. Okay, so it's a good thing I didn't say anything.
You know who had a couple cup starts and did a really good job, and he got blackmailed a little bit, but he's back running good again? Retzloff.
Yeah.
But then I look at it, so your guys in your Toyota camp, if you're gonna stay true to your colors. Your highest Toyota in the O'Reilly scored is Brandon Jones, Taylor Gray, Sawalich, Brent Cruz, Harrison Burton.
I think Harrison Burton's got a decent chance of jumping back up.
Yep.
If it isn't Burton, my money would be on Taylor Gray if you're gonna pull from the O'Reillys.
Yep. I mean, yeah, I think Burton, yep. I think he's one. I don't know what I'm not sure what the Brandon Jones situation is. I don't know.
I don't think he's going anywhere. I think he's like an all-guyer.
He just kind of bounces around in the O'Reilly series.
I think he's a all-guyer-esque type of guy where that O'Reilly's is kind of his deal.
I mean, I looked down the list. When you get outside the top 15 in this O'Reilly series, you just start to have some serious questions. Because you look at the top, and the first couple of answers are not obvious, but they kind of lead to each other. Allgaier will be there forever because he
Yep.
loves that. He loves that. Love, Hill, Creed, Quapple, Smith, Day, Caruth, Retzloff, Sam Mayer, Brandon Jones, Taylor Gray, Jeb Burton.
Not going anywhere.
Yep. And then you go Sawalich, and then you start to reach
Yep.
the guys that just aren't producing or never going to get to be there. So I don't know. The Love Hill one at RCR really intrigues me because there's going to be one car.
Yep. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if the other one of those, which my guess is going to be Jesse Love, would be your potential fill-in for that 48.
Really? You're thinking
I think
Austin?
RCR sticks with Hill.
Okay. And then yeah, okay. I was actually going to say the opposite, but okay. All right. I just,
That's you got to remember. You got to remember. Wreck 'em.
yeah, yeah. How can we not? Oh, and it's so unpredictable with that whole group because you have two guys, teammates racing for spots, they'll wreck each other, and then, oh, how can we forget all of that too?
Austin Hill filled his audition for that twice last year.
Correct. So, yeah, I don't know. I just think, yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of movement this year. And then the interesting part is we're going to start to have the conversation of a couple of guys retiring. Denny Hamlin has been at Joe Gibbs from inception, it feels like. I could see 2027 being his victory lap.
Yeah.
Who do you put in the 11? Or does that car go back to the number 18? But then you're going to
Who's
have him.
Keselowski going to hang it up?
Keselowski, there's three guys that are on the radar for spots. It's going to be they're going to retire in the next 2 years. I'm going to predict Hamlin and Busch for sure. I'm not. I don't have a good enough pulse on Keselowski, but he's going to be in the next 3 or 4.
I think Keselowski's in that realm. Keselowski will do it if he's got the guy that he wants to fill his seat.
Yep, because he's the owner, so he gets called shots.
Correct, but he's going to have a say, obviously. But he's already thinking of that pipeline. And as soon as if he can grab the guy that he wants,
I know he's going to have to poach somebody. That's the bad part.
and I wouldn't doubt it if he did. And again,
Yep.
if he can get that guy,
Yep. Yeah.
is that a crazy spot for Bowman?
No. No. I could see
If
it.
you're gonna throw that out there,
Bowman's a Cup driver. He's not going anywhere.
right? If
He's
he can get the health situation figured out.
yes, obviously pending that whole situation, but quality of talent, yes, he is a Cup driver and he will be in the Cup series. It's just a matter of
Or another one that just popped to mind here, Josh Berry.
yeah. Does he shuffle over and he runs for the primary RFK instead of being a satellite Ford? Yeah, I don't know. I think there's going to be a lot of movement in the end of the
Oh,
season into the off season. I
there was
think
too little this year to not have a ton next year.
correct. I think it's going to blow up.
Yeah, and I think as we keep rolling through the season too, it's going to be a little bit more clear. Get to that halfway point of the year, get to July, and then we can start June, July. Then you can really start figuring out.
Announcements will be made.
Yeah, you can start penciling stuff in. So,
guys start to get locked in when after race 26, when guys are locked into the playoffs, that's when that stuff starts to reveal itself because time and energy and resources will get shifted, especially if you have guys leaving manufacturers.
So, we'll be revisiting that conversation probably about June, July. Get to that part of the year, and we will have some shaking up. So, yeah, want to keep rolling here. We got Wheelman of the Week. Got 4 contenders. I'll take the first one. Kyle Larson wins in a sprint car, and he wins the O'Reilly's car at Vegas.
I'll grab these middle two. You got Carson Brown. As we talked about the ASA Stars race, goes 2 for 2 on the season. He led I don't know, 130, 135 laps. And then Mikey Marlar leads 39 to 40 at Volunteer Speedway for the World of Outlaws with the late models. So good to see him back smiling.
Yeah, and then finally here, Denny Hamlin leads the most laps, wins the Cup race at Vegas. 2 Vegas wins in a row for him, dating back to the fall race last year. Got 60 and 61 at this track.
Go ahead, boys. Kind of another little,
I'm stuck on 2. I'm definitive on 2 guys.
yeah. Larson's one of them.
He's not one of them for me.
Really?
Same scenario, right? He's gonna have plenty of times throughout the year to win it.
Yep.
I'll just cast my vote. We'll go on Denny Hamlin.
Fuck, you're on a different boat too now.
I was gonna go Marlar.
I had Carson Brown and Marlar on mine. If you said Marlar, I think I'm gonna go Marlar here as well.
Okay.
2-1. Mikey
Yeah.
Marlar.
Yeah, he was just kind of cool listening to his interview because he talked like him and his little brother. He goes, we showed up to the racetrack with the exact same setup. He goes, we're working together like hand in hand. He goes, our other brothers on the crew in, my dad's here, like the whole crew is there. Like Mikey was like genuinely pumped up when he won that race, right? Like
And
those were,
he's won plenty of races there on the weekly and regional series or
yeah,
specials there, and so this was his first Wu Gang win at Volunteer.
especially and then having Ronnie Delk put that team together in a short period of time in the off season too. So scramble to put it together and then obviously having fun racing with his brother. I mean, how can you not appreciate that?
Yeah.
All right. So, Mikey Marlar, welcome to the Wheelman of the Week.
It's the third dirt late model driver on that list now.
And we can keep rolling here. Keep rolling to. Oh, you guys want to look at what's ahead?
Say I got her pulled up here if you want me to just rattle her off.
Yeah, rattle her off quick.
Yeah, so we're gonna have the High Limit Sprint Car Series. They're gonna be at Central Arizona Speedway for a 3-day show. The Cactus Classic. NASCAR is gonna be at Darlington this week with all 3 series. The trucks are back in action, the O'Reilly Series and the Cup Series at Darlington. Traditionally what is throwback weekend, but it's kind of at team's discretion now at this point. Really looking for that Cup Series race with especially what Hamlin said with the fall off and having that same tire and package as we did at Phoenix. The UARA, there you have their baby Rattler in the 50th annual Rattler 250. Ty Majeski is going for win number 6 down there
Yep.
this weekend. The World Late Models, they're going to be at Magnolia and, well, the two-nighter at Magnolia Speedway at Late Models, and then the Sprint Cars are going to be at Lawton Speedway and Creek County Speedway for a 2-day show. The IHRA Stock Car Series has their season debut at Pulaski Motorsports Park. The IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Series is going to be racing at Sebring International Speedway for the 12 Hours of Sebring. And then the Hunt the Front Series is going to be at the Talladega Short Track for their Bama Bash. And it looks like that's everything.
What is that IHRA? What are they on? Are they streaming at all or no?
They're on it's stream. I saw it the other day and I just don't remember what it is. It's another stream, essentially.
Because I was moderately contemplating, like, if that was on Flow, I was going to tell you I was going to tune in for sure.
Here, let me.
Because we have no idea what we're getting into with this, so I'm just genuinely curious.
Stock car. Does it tell me where it's streaming at on here? Let's just do this. View event.
Either way, you can kind of keep looking.
Yeah, I'll keep looking around here.
Let's go ahead and jump ahead to our.
Yeah, we got that last thing we got on the dock here. We got some race picks to make. So picking order, Kellen picked this week. He picked Blaney. Cam picked Christopher Bell, and I picked Larson. So with finishing order, that will leave this week's pick with Kellen, myself, and then tire changer. So Kellen, you get first pick.
Seabell.
Damn.
I'm gonna do something crazy. He's gonna go back to back. I'm gonna pick Denny Hamlin.
Ooh, you're putting me in a spot here because I got two guys I can go with then here.
If the tires do fall off at 4 seconds a crack, you're gonna have to take care of stuff, and Denny Hamlin will be able. This is gonna get into taking care of your stuff in a strategic race, and that's gonna be fall right into Denny's lap.
So that makes my pick for me then. I need an experienced guy. Not saying the other one isn't experienced, but give me Byron.
He was that's who I was between Byron and Hamlin, but cool. Yeah, that about wraps up the 122nd edition. Guys, got any other final thoughts?
No.
I think this was an eye-opening weekend on many aspects, right? A lot of things happened this weekend.
Yep.
This is an eye-opening weekend.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think it's going to deeper we get into race season. It's eye-opening right now, but it's going to get more and more clear. The futures of drivers and teams here as we go throughout. So, yeah, like we always say, don't be afraid to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see y'all next week for another episode of Tuesday Track Talk.